Hello, world. What's up? What's up? So, I've been away for 8 days. Got arrested over some stupid stuff. I was given permission to go stay somewhere for a few hours, and apparently, I was criminally trespassing. It's funny how, when you're on a strong journey and you're on the right path, that the enemy always shows up to try and down your spirits and get you to get back into those old ways of false negativity and just tries to tear you down in so many ways. Today's my first day back out. I got out this morning at, I guess it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and man, it feels so good to be out. Uh, Things have changed for me quite a bit since I've in 8 days. Man, it's amazing how much can change in 8 days. I've opened up to some, I guess, another spiritual level that's so much stronger than before. And I want to keep encouraging you guys that we truly are limitless. There's nothing we can't do. There's no mountain too high. There's no valley too wide. There's no ocean too far, too deep. There's nothing is really a limit anymore. I want you guys to know that you truly are capable of doing anything and everything you set your mind to. You know, I started some videos months back showing that, God set the perfect example on what we were capable of doing in the beginning. He closed his eyes off to the world because in front of him he saw nothing but darkness. It said, in the beginning, the earth was without form and void, and his spirit moved over the face of the deep. It was darkness. He closed his eyes, and he imagined light, what it felt like, what it looked like, the emotion that it gave him on the inside, and the feeling it would bring to the earth. And then he spoke, "Let there be light." And he opened his eyes and he watched as the sun manifest right in front of him. If any example is greater than that, I haven't found it, because I know that's the greatest example I've ever known of what we are capable of creating. He saw darkness, nothing but. Then he spoke light and created the greatest form of light source that we know. In the beginning, paradise was here on earth. It was beautiful. It was perfect. Over time, by wrongful influence and tradition of man's definition of good and evil or perfection, we've turned this earth into, I guess you could say, a sense of hell. But now it's time for us to start waking up and realizing that our words have the very power to create, our thoughts have the very power to create that which we want, that what we need to enjoy life. God created us to walk in fellowship with him daily. And we find ourselves so consumed in work and this and that, and getting kids to school and getting kids to daycare, that we don't stop to see more than just 5 feet in front of us. Today I'm just going to make a short message, and I just want you guys to know that we are truly limitless. Again, we are limitless. There's nothing we can't do. We're only bound by the limits we set on ourselves. I want to encourage you guys to open up to that thought. Stop and think about it for a second. Close your eyes to the world around you. Don't let it influence you. Don't let it create your thought. Create your thought yourself. Think with a purpose today. For those of you that are out on the streets, that are busy and bustling back and forth, that have had struggle all this week, or stop for a second and think how you want the rest of the day to go. Close your eyes. Don't think about how it's going, but think about how you want it to go. Envision it. Think of the emotion it'll give you. Think of the feeling inside it will make you have to know that you can create your day the way you want it to be. And then speak it. Create life the way you want it to be. There's so much possibilities that are opening up to us and the world around us. And for those of you that have already tapped into the gift that God has given you to create, or that are just tapping into it and have been told so many times you can't, or it's impossible, or that you're limited, that have allowed other people to put limits on you, Strike those limitations. Christ showed us the example. He spoke to Satan himself. He said, "Get thee hence behind me, Satan." Enemy has no power over us unless we give him power. Today I encourage you guys, take that power back. Claim what's rightfully yours. As children and heirs and joint heirs in Christ, Christ showed us that he said, "I am God. God is me." Each one of us are created by God. Each one of us are a child of God. He is the God of gods. The God of gods. Inside of each and every one of you, there is a God and a goddess, capable of greater things than our carnal mind can imagine just as of yet, but I've seen it. And I've touched into that power, and I know what we are capable of. And I encourage you, every one of you that watches this message, I encourage you to reach into that limitless ability, the power that God has given each one of you to create the reality that we as his children deserve. He gave this earth to us. Why are we paying for our own land? He created us with knowledge on how to create data for cell phones, how to create Wi-Fi. Why are we paying for things that we are creating? Stop limiting yourselves. Today I want to encourage you guys to create the day you want. Think about it. Meditate it. Let it dwell in your thought. Start the thought back here. Don't let what's around you and what you see start your thoughts. Start it back here. Speak it. Create. Create. Create.